حضن المسيح محمدا ودم السماء توقد يتلوك أنت الفدا ولك الفدا خاب الذين على المدى خلوك ستثور بك الأباء وتموت بك الطغاة وتعود لك الحياة.
So as your new follower, first of all, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Literally right now, on the way to the mosque now, so a lot of things inspired me. That, like, obviously I'm not going to fit it all in this video, do you know what I mean? But let me just like summarize it as short as I can, yeah? So, first thing, I live with my granddad, innit? And obviously, my granddad's Muslim, so seeing what he does every day, like, pray 5 times a day, listen to the Quran, do you know what I mean? And just like, some of the things he just does throughout the day, like, I can't lie, it just made me think, like, what a beautiful religion and how it helped him. As soon as my nan and uncle passed away, inshallah, they're in Jannah right now, as soon as they passed away, literally, even before that, like, religion was just him, and it's helped him get through a lot of things, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to be a part of, like, a religion where, like, it just helps. Number 2, any Christians that are watching this, like, obviously, don't get at me, because we're all, like, yeah, I respect religion, do you know what I mean? There's a lot of similarities, but I can't lie, I didn't agree with the Trinity, the Father, God comes down in human form. Like, why would God come down in human form, like, to things he created? Do you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense. And then Jesus himself died on the cross to normal human beings. And yeah, like, didn't really agree with that. As well, I just don't know how, like, Jesus, like, he said he sacrificed himself for our sins. So every sin a Christian does, they're not going to be, do you know what I mean? And it's not going to count. So it doesn't make sense. But finally, I just want to say thank you for all the support. Inshallah, you will get rewarded for the support you're giving me, and yeah, for that out.
هموم الحياة جبال ثقال ولكن بذكرك همي يزول فعند الحديث عن المصطفى.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. So yeah, everyone wanted story time, so I'm just gonna give you a quick story time. Not quick, I'll probably do like 4 parts, but yeah, this is part 1. So 3 months ago, I was upstairs, like, you know, when you just deep life at like 12 o'clock, in like, yeah, 12 o'clock. So I'm just there watching TV, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, a thought comes to me. Like, obviously, right now, I think it's a sign from Allah, yeah? So a thought comes to me saying, like, Bobby, is that really, like, are you where you want to be right now? And of course, like, I was just like, of course not. And then I was just thinking, like, how am I going to, like, change that? And then, like, a thought just came to my mind. Maybe converting to Islam will change everything. Yeah, assalamu alaikum, guys, brothers and sisters, I mean. So, yeah, let's get straight into it. So, when my granddad's wife and son passed away, my grandmother and uncle passed away, he was heartbroken. It's probably not even a word to describe it. Like, he was just gone. And obviously, in that situation, people would probably go down the wrong path, like, start drinking, doing bad things with their life. But nah, my granddad, literally, he was just like, no. And literally, Islam was just like there for him. Like, he literally now he's like dedicating his life to the mosque, like, to Islam. And it just shows, like, how religion, like, helped him get through such, like, bad times, like, during his life. And inshallah, like, obviously he's never gonna, like, get rid of the pain, but it just shows, like, how much support and, like, love he got whilst in that time from Islam. So literally, I was just like, I want to be a part of that. Like, it's not.
حضن المسيح محمدا ودم السماء توقد يتلوك أنت الفدا ولك الفدا خاب الذين على المدى خلوك ستثور بك الأباء وتموت بك الطغاة وتعود لك الحياة فإذا العروبة أشركت وتصهينت وتأمركت نأتي فوارس الله ابشري ومن اليهود تحرري نفديك فستنكسر الحدود وسيتحد الوجود.
Hello everyone, I just wanted to give you guys like a little bit of an update. So the other day I was staying with my grandmother, and she's the woman that I would go to the church every single Sunday. And she tells me, it seems like you have really found peace within yourself and your religion, Islam. I want to start reading Quran. She's like, I want to find that peace. And instantly, I started tearing up because I've been going through this journey basically alone. I have other friends that are reverts, but no one in my family is Muslim. So hearing that like made me so happy. So I make dua every single day for Allah to bring my family closer to Islam. And so long story short, I ended up giving her one of my Qurans and she started reading it. But if you all can, just keep her in her duas. May Allah make this easy on her.
حضن المسيح محمدا ودم السماء توقد يتلوك أنت الفدا ولك الفدا خاب الذين على المدى خلوك
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I just want to thank you all for all the support that you guys have provided me with. And you guys are asking me why I converted to Islam, so I want to answer that for you. 2 years ago I was in a really rough spot in my life. I grew up Methodist. We didn't go to church like every Sunday, but we studied it. I was just thrown off the whole entire time because the Bible has changed so frequently. And it didn't quite make sense to me. I didn't really know what I should believe in. 2 years ago I was in a really rough spot in my life. I didn't have any friends. I ruined all my relationships, friendships. I made friends with all the wrong people and I made bad choices. So I basically lost a lot of hope in myself. So I decided to turn to religion again because I really need someone. I needed something. So I turned to, so I looked into Methodist again. I looked into Christianity, everything, and I came upon Islam. And I started looking into the Quran. And the one thing that struck me the most is that the Quran has never been changed. It has always been the same. So that's what kind of struck me the most. And I started reading it, and it's like every single question I ever had was literally right in front of me in the Quran, which was like, literally I was mind blown. So I started studying Islam, and I started making dua. And I wasn't even Muslim at the time, and I was making dua. And every morning I would wake up and I would just see things around me are changing for the better. So that's what kind of like pulled me even more towards Islam, because I saw things were actually changing. So after studying Islam for months, I ended up going into the masjid by my house, and I took the shahada after Jummah prayer. And there were so many people there that didn't even know me, but were supporting me and loving me. And honestly, I've never felt more welcomed in my life. The masjid is literally my second home, and I don't even know like where to begin, like the emotions I was feeling during that time. Like it just felt so unreal. I've never felt so a part of something than I did at that time. Now that I look at it, I just think like alhamdulillah for everything. Like it's literally insane. But I am thankful for everything that I have now and everything that I had, that I will have.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. تكبير تكبير.
حضن المسيح محمدا ودم السماء توقد يتلوك أنت الفدا ولك الفدا خاب الذين على المدى خلوك ستثور بك الأباء وتموت بك الطغاة وتعود لك الحياة. فإذا العروبة أشركت وتصهينت وتأمركت نأتيك بفوارس الله ابشري ومن اليهود تحرري نفديك فستنكسر.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Raquel and I converted a week ago to Islam. I was a police officer in the city of Detroit and I worked there from 96 until 2004 and I was shot in 2002. I was shot working on the job and I came very, very close to death, and I know that I have, you know, a new beginning, a new life, and I kind of didn't know how to follow God. I just didn't know what religion to believe in until I had met some Muslim friends that really talked to me and sat me down and explained a lot to me, and it's changed my life where I'm not afraid of death anymore. You know, the only thing we have to fear is Allah, and you know, we never know when our next day is, so we better, you know, take Shahada now and you know, have that faith, and because there is only one God. And I know I came really, really close to death, and if I would have died that day, I don't know, you know, if I would have went to the hellfire or not, where now I have the confidence and the peace and the happiness where I know where I'm going if anything were to happen today. The wings are good too, man. The wings.
Man, you're a sales.
I can't help it. I was like. Before I became Muslim, I really didn't have a strong opinion as far as Muslims or, you know, pro-Muslim or anti-Muslim or anything like that. I've always been that type of person. I was really open-minded. And, you know, that's one thing that I was so different about me from my family, is that I was really open-minded and respected people for what they believed in. I actually would get mad in my job as a police officer because people were attacking Muslims for absolutely no reason in Detroit, especially after 9/11. It was absolutely horrible, and it really bothered me. I'm like, you know, just because they're Muslim doesn't mean that they're an extremist, or that, you know, they believe in extremist beliefs. And, you know, I know that's not what my friends that are Muslims, that's not what they believe. And, you know, they're not all terrorists. There's good and bad people in every religion and in every sector of life. You know, you have good cops and you have bad cops. And it's the same in everything. And it just really broke my heart to see, you know, and actually that's when I really became interested in Islamic beliefs after 9/11, because I was so disturbed by the things that I was seeing, you know, as a police officer on the street, and the way that they were being treated. It was unconscionable. I'm here in Las Vegas at my masjid, and I have some clothes to give to the needy. And what we do is we just leave them on a table for them, and they come in, hopefully they can get something that they like. So I'm just going to leave clothes for the neighborhood, and they can take what they need, and hopefully there's some nice sweaters in here that they can use, because it's a little cold in Vegas. I know for some people it might be discouraging to learn a new language and to learn, you know, it's basically, you know, a new culture. It's not just a religion, it's a new way of living. And for me, it's not been discouraging. It's just that I want to learn it faster and want to be able to do it on my own. But it's difficult because, you know, I'm home alone, and I've had to learn everything almost on the internet, even how to tie my hijab and everything. You know, I've had to learn it all on my own.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Malik Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim.
But it's been a wonderful experience, and there's a lot of peace in it, and a lot of joy that you experience when you're learning and getting it right, and it's an incredible experience. absolutely know that I did the right thing. I had been considering it for 2 years, and I had a lot of the theology and the knowledge, but I had never experienced it. I had never went to a mosque and experienced it, but I had a lot of Muslim friends and even had a Muslim partner on the police force that explained a lot to me. When I pray, even though I don't exactly know the prayers by heart, what I do is on the internet I have a couple of sites where after it has it in Arabic, it will have it in English as well. So then I will read the English portion, and it's just so powerful. The prayers are so powerful, and I feel so protected. Allahu Akbar. And know that in this world I have nothing to fear but Allah. It's very comforting. Subhana Rabbil Allah, Subhana Rabbil Allah, Subhana Rabbil Allah. Warfir, Warhamni, Warborni, Warfani, Wazukni, Wadini, Wafini. It's just my life, just a new peace and a new joy have come over me. The main thing that I like about Islam is actually being covered up. I do. I really enjoy it, to be completely honest. So, especially here in Las Vegas, because men look at women it's really creepy, and it's actually, I feel much safer. And the other thing that I like is that, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning so much, and I love to learn. I've always been big into, life is a learning experience, and I absolutely love that about it, is that I'm learning something new every day. Hast thou seen if he denieth Allah's guidance and is forward? Is he then unaware that Allah seeth? Nay, but if he sees not, we will seize him by the forelock, the lying, sinful forelock. Then let him call upon his henchmen. We will call the guards of hell. Every day I read my Quran. Every day that I read the etiquette of, Islam, I learn something new. And that people are so helpful. It's not one race. It's not, people aren't judgmental if you come in there as an American. They're very supportive. They know that you don't know the Arabic. They're very gentle with you and help teach you and, guide you. And, I've got some really strong brothers in Islam that were raised by an imam that, have been really, really helpful in teaching me a lot. And there's a lot of peace and a lot of joy in it that I've never, ever felt before. As far as taking Shahada, I was really nervous because I don't know a lot of the Islamic words yet. And so a sister that's been kind of nurturing me at the masjid, she stood up with me and helped me do my Shahada, and it was great. It was really great. It was so nice just to declare that there was only one God and that it was Allah, and that was the biggest thing for me, was making that declaration in front of the masjid, in front of the other Muslims. That meant so much to me. Warfani, Warzuniki, Wazuni, Wadin, Wa Afini. As far as after my Shahada, it was a huge transformation. Of course, I'm not going to be perfect overnight. However, there have been huge life-changing events where it was, put on my heart to break up with my boyfriend because I don't know if he would convert or even was interested in converting. He was extremely supportive of me being Muslim. However, I was aware that in the masjid, we're not allowed to date anymore or have a boyfriend, and that you need to marry a Muslim man. And that's why, I had that conviction. And myself and my ex-boyfriend will always be friends and stuff, but it's not right. I knew it wasn't right. So I decided that I needed to make my walk with God a priority. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdu Lillahi Rabbil Alamin. Manir Rahim Maliki Yamid Ilyaka Nabudu wa Ilyaka Nastain Indinas Sirata. The change between my past life and this life, it's actually been gradually coming. Even before I converted to Islam, I was gradually, I had stopped drinking and stopped going out, and, a lot of different things had changed for me. And so, for a lot of Americans, it would have been really difficult, but I had stopped doing a lot of those things already. So when I came and, converted to Islam, it was a little bit easier, I think, than most Americans, because I already had stopped a lot of that nonsense and, knew that, I'm 40. I knew that I wanted those changes in my life, and that it was time for peace and tranquility and growth with God. And I was very, very ready for the change. And I knew it was what was missing in my life. As far as telling my friends about becoming Muslim, some of them know and some of them don't. I'm not sure what their reaction will be. Some of them, my best friend from childhood, she actually works in the Catholic Church, and I know she probably is going to have a really bad reaction to it, and that we might not be friends anymore. However, some of my friends I've told, and they're like, I don't care. Your religious beliefs are your religious beliefs, and your belief system, and that's fine. That's your choice, and have been pretty supportive. And they've asked interesting questions too. So that's been kind of nice to be able to share. Some of the main questions that my friends ask me, especially actually male and female, why do you cover your head? Why do you keep your arms covered? Especially here in Las Vegas, because it's a very different society even compared to normal American society, and people don't stay very covered, and especially women. And so, I just said that it's about modesty. And I've noticed personally that, people look at me a lot different, and even some of my friends have mentioned that, that some people look at me with more respect, because it's not like men looking at me as, an object. They're looking at my face and not, things that they shouldn't. My first day wearing a hijab was interesting. I actually went to the mosque, and I didn't even have I had a scarf that I had bought, and I didn't even have the tags off of it yet, and I just showed up to the mosque and was like, I'm going. And I asked the man at the door, I said, do I need to cover my head? And he said, yes. So I ran back to my car and got the scarf and covered my head. Do everything I can to change my life. And, of course, I'm getting halal meat now, and that a lot of that has changed, a lot of the eating habits, and no more pork. And before I became a Muslim, I really didn't go to a church. I grew up in a charismatic Christian home, and both of my parents are charismatic Christian pastors. And I studied a lot of theology, a lot of different religions, and as far as Catholicism, and just everything I could get my hands on. My parents don't know that I converted to Islam. There was only one choice in their eyes, and it was either choose to be a charismatic Christian the way that they are charismatic Christians, or they don't have any respect for you, and they basically exiled me from the family. And that was before, converting to Islam. As far as my family, I honestly, it's really a double-edged sword. I miss them, but every time I was with them, because of their spiritual beliefs, I was absolutely miserable. And they made the rest of the family really miserable. It was very uncomfortable. Every holiday was so uncomfortable. We all had to shut up and be silent about our beliefs. No one was, unless it was their beliefs, no one would say anything. It was walking on eggshells 24/7. And they were very cruel to me. And as far as the religion. They were very cruel to me from a very young age, and I miss them as people, but I don't miss their religion at all. And I don't think they'll ever change, and it was a horrible experience. It was absolutely terrifying as a child to go through that. They're very extremist, and, you know, I mean, as a child, they were taking me to exorcisms and all kinds of crazy things, and it was, and, you know, would beat up on me emotionally all the time. I knew I didn't want to be, not to be harsh, not to be judgmental, but I knew I didn't want to be part of their crazy religion. It was, you know, borderline occult, and I couldn't do it. And I was persecuted by them every time I saw them. So I miss my nieces like crazy, but I can't go back to that life. I would rather just, you know, have my Muslim family and have God in my life, the real God, the true God, not a bunch of man-made, you know, rules and regulations. And their religion caused me so much pain, and this one doesn't. The thing was is that I noticed with Islam is that intellectually it was what made sense. I do really get analytical, and looking into all the other religions, it was just like like there was no original text, and that it seemed like there was a whole lot of man-made things and people's ideas and man-made ideas instead of God's laws and the original laws, and that really always bothered me. And so I even studied the Ethiopian Bible, because they say it's one of the oldest Bibles in the world, and I found Islam to be even more accurate as far as the history and the original scripts and the original text, and that it wasn't tainted by a lot of different translations. I do believe that in 2002 that my life was spared for a reason, and I do believe that reason was, you know, to be able to convert to Islam and become Muslim, and, you know, because I don't know where I would have went that day, and to spread the word, and to spread the love, and to spread the joy, and to spread the peace, and to show people that, you know, all these stereotypes that they have need to be broken, and that Islam isn't terrorism, that it's something incredibly beautiful, and that's what I personally want to show people. This will be my first Ramadan, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm excited about it. I hear a lot of positive things, you know. Some people would think, oh, fasting, oh, this, you know, but from all my Muslim friends, I hear really positive things about it, you know, and that it's a celebration and it's a coming together, and that a lot of them learn a lot more is revealed to them about the Quran, you know, during that time, and just about their life in general, and that Allah gives them more guidance during that time.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zain Kamal. I converted to Al-Islam 27 years ago in 1984.
فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها.
I think during this day and age, the biggest misconception of Al-Islam is that Al-Islam is a very aggressive religion. It's a religion that breeds terrorism or breeds terrorists. And I think that's the biggest misconception that anyone can have of anyone's religion. I believe that once you take the time to really look at Al-Islam for what Al-Islam is, like they told us when we were coming up, never judge a book by its cover. And so if you get past the cover and you really start to investigate and you read and you study this religion or this way of life, you will find out that it is probably the most simple and beautiful way of life that you can ever imagine.
وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى.
The one thing that we can't do with this religion, we can't sugarcoat it. We can't present it to people and try and make it taste sweet to them. We have to present the religion the way Allah intended this religion to be presented, the way Allah intended this religion to be practiced, and that's the only way that we're going to see success in our lives. And we see it now with so many converts, American converts, reverts, coming back to Islam, because people are studying, they're looking at Al-Islam. They said that 9/11 was it? Yeah, 9/11 was detrimental to Islam. I would have to disagree, because I think it really made people, non-Muslims, to want to take a closer look at al-Islam. And once they started to take that look at it, we see the results, because Islam is still the fastest growing religion in the world today.